So close-minded, celebrate diversity, and we'll see you all next year at the annual Sheepfuckers Pride Parade.
Yeah!
Which is right after the Young Boy Spirit and Lotion Convention. A call back to a joke I didn't even do tonight. Very much, man. Before we bring up our first act for the evening, our first act here at Ha Bloody Ha, I read this week. Yeah, give it up. Apply for the Ha Bloody Ha. We're doing here at the new dark room every week. New acts, new audience. But come back. Well, I read this week in People magazine because of the Passion of the Christ. The Passion of the Christ. Christianity is hot. According to People magazine. Yeah, that's right. Christian is the new Latino, folks. Thank you very much. It's hot and sexy. That's right. Which encouraged me to go out and start my very own punk band. Hardcore punk band. Sorry. That's right. We're called the No Sex Before Marriage Pistols. It's nothing like a Messiah thrash for Christ. But the one religion that makes my head explode is has to be Jews for Jesus. So that just doesn't make sense, you know? Jews for Jesus. That's like vegetarians for meat. I think they're just greedy. They swing both ways. Jews for Jesus are the bisexuals of the religion world. Why stop there? Why not be like Jews for Jesus with big Buddha bellies? You know? Jews for Jesus with big Buddha bellies are into epidemiology, horticulture, and podiatry, which is the study of feet. You know, it doesn't make sense. It's like vegetarians for meat. It's like Klansmen for big black booty, I think. But you know, it makes you think. I want to get spiritual, you know. We all want to be spiritual. So I went out today, I did something I normally don't do. I went to confessional. I got inside the booth. I said, Father, I have a big confession to make. I'm actually Jewish. And I just have an affinity for standing in small, dark rooms. He said, that's okay, my son. I'm actually not a priest. This is not a confession booth. It's a dressing room at Urban Outfitter. You're kind of giving me the creeps. And then we both laughed and laughed and laughed until he blinded me with pepper spray and called security. And scene. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for your first act here at Ha Bloody Ha? Give it up for your first act here at Ha Bloody Ha. A showcase of talent we have all through San Francisco. I don't know her first act's first name. I know her as Romance the Clown. Harvey. Well, I know her also as Romance the Clown, which is a wonderful act you should check out. But tonight, you are going to know her as Harvey. Give it up for Harvey, everyone!
I like that. My clown is famous. I'm not. Yeah, so I'm going to do some spoken word. This is kind of cool because I can't see anybody, and I almost feel like there's no one. Are there people there? Can you make them? So I'm gonna read you some poems and stuff. This first one, I don't usually write love poems, but this is a little love poem about flowers and shit. I love you so much. I want to tear your eyeballs out of their sockets, dunk your head in the toilet, and flush it repeatedly while I fuck you up the ass! Yeah, that sweet little ass of yours with my big rubber dick.
What's your ego?
Well, Romance the Clown, she's a clown activist, and she is fighting for the rights of clowns everywhere. They want more, clowns need more visibility in society. She has an organization called NIB, but Romance is actually on vacation.
Right, and coulrophobia, as we all know, is fear of clowns, folks. Fear of clowns.
Do you know what causes, why people are coulrophobic, actually?
Actually, I read this one story about a coulrophobic person. He said, like, when he was little, that in a parade, a clown came up with, like, a big scissors, and just go, I'm going to cut off your head! I'm going to cut off your head! And from that day on, he had like fear of clowns. So I think it's stuff like that. Clowns, it's a little bit creepy.
Actually, it's a latent sexual tendency, and Dr. Bach.
It's all about the sex.
The famous clown psychologist says that actually, if you're coulrophobic, it means that you just need to be fucked really hard by a clown for about 12 hours. Is the
what about the cutting off the head? I'm going to cut off your head.
Secondary fears.
Give it up for Harvey, everyone! Yay! Now, please.